Good morning everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the point-to-point microwave link tower design project. To start all of this, we are going to talk about the tools that we needed for this project. And these are the Google Earth Pro and the Microsoft Excel. The Google Earth Pro will be used to explore and study the actual terrain between two towers. It will help us visualize the landscape, identify elevation changes, and measure the exact distance between the 2 points. By viewing the path in 3D, we will be able to determine whether the line of sight is clear or if there are possible obstacles like mountains or vegetation. This tool will allow us to see the real-world data that we needed for our design. On the other hand, the Microsoft Excel will be used to analyze and compute our design parameters. It will help us calculate values such as the earth bulge, earth curvature, Fresnel zone radius, Fresnel clearance, upper and lower Fresnel clearance, total height extended, and line of sight. We will use it to graph the terrain profile and how our signal would travel between two towers. Now, going to the use of Google Earth Pro for the transmitter site, I choose a location in Libon that sits on a higher elevation. This is to make sure that the signal can travel freely and avoid any obstruction such as trees or hills. The site is also positioned just along the road, making it easier to access for setup and maintenance. While our receiver is located in Bato, Camarines Sur, and just like the transmitter site, it is also placed along the road for accessibility and is free from obstruction that could block the signal. Both locations were carefully planned to ensure a strong communication path between them. For our operating frequency, we base our design on NTC Memorandum Circular Number 00207-2024. And through trial and error, we determined that 35 antenna height is ideal to achieve a straight line of sight for both of our tower. Now, we go to Excel and see the graph presented. So, first, we have the earth bulge and the earth curvature. Because the earth is curved and the surface between two isn't flat, it is slightly bulge upward. This bulge can block part of the signal if we don't consider it in our calculations. That's why we need to compute for the earth bulge to make sure our towers are tall enough to maintain a clear line of sight over the curvature of the earth. So the formula for the earth bulge is earth bulge is equals to distance 1 times distance 2 over 12.75 k, where k will be value as 4/3 as a standard. And for earth curvature, the formula is earth bulge plus the elevation. Now, we go to the Fresnel radius. When radio waves travel from the transmitter to the receiver, they don't just move in a thin straight line. Instead, they spread out in a oval-shaped area called Fresnel zone. The Fresnel radius helps us define the size of that zone if any object like hill or a trace is within that area. It can cause diffraction or intense interference. That's why we make sure that at least 60% of the Fresnel zone is clear, and this is also known as the Fresnel clearance. So the formula used in the Fresnel radius is 17.3 times the square root of d1 times d2 over frequency times the total distance. And for the Fresnel clearance, it is 0.6 times the Fresnel zone that we computed. Speaking of obstacles, another factor we need to consider is the vegetation. This includes trees, bushes, and other plant growth that might block or weaken the microwave signal. In our study, we assumed that an average vegetation height is 15 meters. By taking this into account, we make sure to add enough height to our towers so the signal passes clearly above it. After considering the earth curvature, Fresnel clearance, and vegetation, we compute what we call the total height extended. This is the total height needed for the antenna combining the actual tower height and any additional height required to all possible obstruction. In our case, we use 35 meters tower height, which ensures that our signal travels freely without hitting obstacle between Libon and Bato. And the formula used in the total height extended is earth curvature plus Fresnel clearance plus vegetation. Next is the line of sight, or LOS. This is the most critical part of designing a microwave link. LOS means simply there is a direct, unobstructed between the transmitting and receiving antenna. If the LOS is blocked, the microwave signal can travel properly, leading to a weak or no communication. That's why we need to make sure that both of our sites were placed on elevated and open area. And the formula used for our line of sight is receiver elevation plus antenna height plus the summation plus the quantity of the transmitter elevation plus antenna height minus receiver elevation plus antenna height times d1 over the total distance. We also have what's known as the upper and lower Fresnel clearance. This refers to the space above and below the signal path within the Fresnel zone. It's important that both remains free obstacles to minimize interference and signal loss. This ensures our signal is transmitted efficiently with minimal reflection or diffraction. And for the last slide, we have the graph itself. Now, the orange line represent the earth curvature, the gray line represent the total height extended, and the LOS is the green line. The blue line is the upper Fresnel clearance, and the brown line is the lower Fresnel clearance. And as you can see, we have a straight LOS, and the upper and lower Fresnel clearance are not obstructed. So this is it. Thank you.